Namaste, beautiful souls. Welcome to the sacred journey of Kal Mantra, Embrace Divine Grace. Let the celestial vibrations uplift your spirit and guide you toward inner peace, abundance, and divine blessings. Open your heart, chant with devotion, and awaken the infinite grace within you.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here again to plunge into some really interesting source material, looking for those surprising facts and maybe some deeper insights. Today, we're exploring a story of, well, profound personal transformation, but it's got a twist, maybe one you wouldn't expect. We're focusing on someone who honestly seems like the least likely person you'd think of for, spiritual enlightenment.
Right. Someone whose life seemed completely opposite to any kind of spiritual path.
Exactly. So our mission today is to unpack this really remarkable journey, a life of, let's say, extreme worldly indulgence, but who somehow achieves this incredible transformation.
And it happens through a very unconventional relationship.
It really does. We're drawing on some fascinating insights from a source talking about the disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, and we're zeroing in on one very unique individual.
And the core paradox here, the thing that really grabs you, is this person was famous, a big deal in his time, but also deep into, well, pretty much every vice imaginable. Yet somehow he was chosen, looked after, even cherished by this great spiritual master.
It really stretches how you think about potential, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It completely challenges our usual ideas about who's ready or worthy for, deep spiritual growth.
Yeah.
Usually you picture disciples as people already living clean lives or at least trying really hard.
Right. Disciplined, focused.
Exactly. But Girish Chandra Ghosh, that's our guy today. He just flips that whole expectation upside down.
It's a powerful counter-narrative, for sure. So, okay, let's dig into who Girish Chandra Ghosh actually was.
Okay.
The name might not ring a bell for everyone today, but try to imagine someone with the kind of cultural impact of, say, a major film producer, a top screenwriter, and a leading actor all rolled into one.
But back before cinema even existed.
Right, exactly. That was Girish. He was this hugely famous dramatist, celebrated stage artist, and a producer of plays in late 19th century Bengal.
And you have to remember, theater back then was huge. It was the main public entertainment. It shaped culture.
Immense influence. He wasn't just reciting lines. He was a creative engine, a household name. Wrote his own hit dramas, too, often drawing on history or mythology. Captivated audiences.
Yeah, his fame and reach were really something for that era. He wasn't just on the stage, he was in people's minds. A real pioneer in theater. And it's that very public prominence that makes the other side of his life so, well, shocking.
Okay, so here's where that contrast really hits you. Despite the fame, the artistic success, the sources describe him as someone who had, and I quote, no vice on earth that he didn't possess.
Wow. I mean, that's blunt.
It is. Think about that. Not just minor flaws. The description is pretty vivid, frequenting different houses at different times in all areas, red, blue, yellow, whatever.
So implying a life of deep indulgence in all sorts of illicit activities.
Seems like it. And then it specifically mentions he was a gunner.
Which, in the language of the time, meant a heavy drinker, right? Habitual.
Yes, constantly under the influence. So picture this guy. Peak of fame, peak of worldly excess, just completely immersed in it all. Seemingly no limits.
It paints a, almost jarring picture. Someone living a life that, from any normal spiritual viewpoint, looks like the total opposite of seeking enlightenment. Which, brings up the big question. How on earth does someone like that fit into a spiritual context? Let alone become a cherished disciple of someone like Sri Ramakrishna. It just doesn't seem possible.
It really doesn't. And that question leads us right to the master's view. Because despite everything we just laid out about Girish, the source says Sri Ramakrishna was very fond of him. There was this unique, almost baffling bond, something nobody would understand, not just putting up with him, but genuine affection.
And this bond, it was so unusual, right?
Yeah.
Girish's behavior, even with the master, was incredibly bold.
Yeah, provocative even.
He'd come over, sit, talk, sometimes apparently just let loose with harsh words at the master, probably fueled by the alcohol.
Right. And yet, Sri Ramakrishna's patience, his dedication.
Yeah.
It was extraordinary.
The source even says the master would go out of his way, travel late at night after everyone else was gone, just to sit with Girish, sometimes for hours, just talking.
It wasn't passive, it was active engagement. Persistent.
It's pretty astounding, isn't it? And you can imagine how others reacted.
Oh, yeah. The other disciples, probably living these very austere, careful lives.
They couldn't get their heads around it. They actually questioned Sri Ramakrishna about it, like, why tolerate this?
They were confused. They apparently suggested, Master, you have so much power, just like flick your finger and fix him.
Right. Cure his drinking, sort him out. They wondered why he put up with this guy who was often drunk and challenging.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense based on how they understood spiritual teaching.
And what's really fascinating, truly amazing here, is the master's response. He didn't just brush off their questions.
No, he gave this completely different perspective, almost revolutionary. He told them essentially, look, this is how a real teacher operates. He saw past the surface stuff.
Okay.
Sri Ramakrishna said that inside Girish there was a spark, like this hidden potential for divinity. And if that spark was ignited, he would become a blazing fire.
Wow, a blazing fire.
Yeah, he believed in that potential so strongly that he didn't want to let him go. He kept talking to him, showing this absolute faith in Girish's real inner self, no matter what he looked like on the outside. It was seeing a deeper truth.
That's such a powerful shift in how you look at things. It really makes you think, doesn't it? About looking past the surface, the flaws, the mistakes in others, maybe even in ourselves. What does that tell us about seeing potential when all you see is, the messy exterior?
It suggests true wisdom isn't about judging the surface, right?
Yeah.
It's about seeing that inner light, however hidden it might be.
Yeah.
Recognizing that capacity for change in everyone. It goes beyond just judging actions.
Okay, so even with this amazing bond, this incredible faith from the master, Girish himself was still really struggling.
Right, the source is clear on that. He was trying to change, trying hard, but he just couldn't manage it alone.
The habits were too strong.
Seems so. Too deep. His own willpower wasn't enough. But crucially, through all that struggle, he knew there was something profound about the master. He loved the master. That connection was real, even in his turmoil.
So he's stuck. He sees the master's greatness. He loves him. He sees other disciples transforming.
Becoming great yogis, as the source puts it, making huge spiritual progress.
Right. But he feels powerless. He wants to change, but he can't seem to do it.
Exactly. Which leads us to this absolutely pivotal moment, a moment of sheer desperation, really.
Okay.
Girish, seeing everyone else advancing, just felt completely stuck.
Yeah.
And he goes to Sri Ramakrishna and basically lays it all out.
What did he say?
Something like, what am I supposed to do? Look at everyone else becoming great yogis, and I'm still like this. Do something about me. What should I do? Just raw, honest anguish. At admission, he couldn't fix himself.
Wow. That's quite a plea.
It is. And what happens next? This is where the story takes another really unexpected turn. The master's reply wasn't what you'd expect at all. No techniques, no rules. He just looked at Girish and said, can you give me your power of attorney?
His power of attorney, like the legal thing.
Exactly, that term. Think about how strange that sounds in a spiritual context.
Yeah, really strange. What did Girish do?
Well, maybe out of sheer desperation or just absolute trust, he immediately said yes. But then the source suggests he kind of paused, like it hit him what that actually meant.
The weight of it.
Right. And he asked for clarification. Like, wait, master, are you really asking for that? For
Okay.
complete control over my life, my choices, my will? He understood the magnitude. And Girish's final answer, after grasping it fully, was yes. Unconditionally.
Unconditionally. Wow. So what does that mean? It's not just paperwork.
No, not at all. It's deeply symbolic, spiritually profound. It meant Girish was completely surrendering his own ego, his will, his actions, his entire life into the master's hands.
Giving up control over everything, the habits, the desires.
Everything that defined his struggle. It was this huge act of faith and trust, giving up his own agency, saying, I can't do this, you take over.
For someone so deep in those vices, that's not just an idea, that's like a last resort, an all or nothing jump.
Exactly. He was admitting his own efforts weren't working, his habits were too strong. Only something or someone outside himself could bring about real change.
It's that point where you acknowledge your own powerlessness, right?
Yeah.
And hand it over.
Precisely. It's relinquishing personal control and trusting completely in the guide's wisdom and, in this case, maybe even divine power to transform him. For Girish, that total surrender was the key. It opened the door for a radical shift that willpower alone couldn't achieve.
And the transformation, the miracle that followed, was it gradual?
No, that's the incredible part. It was immediate and profound. The source says right after giving his power of attorney, Girish could think of nothing but the master.
Nothing else. His mind just shifted focus entirely.
Completely. The mind that was always consumed by worldly things, by indulgence, was now just absorbed in Sri Ramakrishna.
And did it affect the vices? The drinking?
Yes, concretely. The source gives this powerful example. He could not drink. It wasn't just that people stopped him.
No.
It implies the desire itself just evaporated. The craving, the inclination towards all his old ways, it just vanished.
Gone. Just like that.
Gone. Imagine years of addiction, these deep habits, just dissolving in that moment of surrender. The transformation was so total, the pull towards the old life was simply gone. He was free from it.
That's genuinely astonishing. To go from total immersion to zero desire overnight, it speaks volumes about that surrender and the master's influence.
It really does. And the final proof, the ultimate validation of this transformation came later. When Swami Vivekananda, Sri Ramakrishna's chief disciple, by then a global figure, returned from his work in the West, he actually introduced his Western disciples to Girish Chandra Ghosh.
I did. What did he say about him?
Vivekananda, with all his insight, gave this incredibly powerful endorsement. He called Girish a miracle in spiritual life. He said Girish was one of the master's miracles that he is today, a man of this stature, highlighting the depth of his change, his spiritual realization.
Wow. Coming from Vivekananda, that's a huge validation.
Absolutely. So connecting this to the bigger picture, Girish's story is just this profound example of radical change. It shows that transformation isn't always neat and tidy or slow and steady.
Not linear at all.
Not at all. Sometimes it's instantaneous, coming from that complete unconditional surrender. It highlights the power of faith, the power of a true guide's belief, and that hidden potential inside everyone, no matter how flawed they seem.
Yeah, that spark the master saw.
Exactly. It shows that real wisdom often means seeing that inner spark, no matter the past, knowing it can ignite into something amazing through faith and surrender.
What an unbelievable journey. Girish Chandra Ghosh. From that life of total indulgence, every vice you can think of, to being called a spiritual miracle, a living testament to the master's power and that act of ultimate faith. This whole deep dive, it really shows us, doesn't it? Transformation doesn't follow rules. It can pop up in the most unlikely people, through the most unconventional paths.
It really speaks to the potential in everyone, regardless of their past, what they've done, who they've been.
Yeah, it's a strong reminder not to judge by appearances or past actions. You might miss something truly transformative underneath.
It really is a testament that nobody is beyond hope, beyond growth.
So it leaves you thinking, if a complete surrender like that can trigger such a massive transformation, what might even small acts of letting go, of trusting a deeper process, mean in our own lives?
That's a great question.
Yeah. What kind of spark might be waiting inside you, or maybe inside someone you've been quick to write off? Something to ponder.
Definitely food for thought.
Thanks for diving deep with us today.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing from you. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Are you battling constant stress, facing financial roadblocks, struggling in relationships, or stuck in your career? Harness the power of authentic Rudraksh, powerful planetary remedies, and timeless Vedic astrology. Limited stock. Don't miss out. Visit kalmantra.com today to restore balance, invite abundance, and transform your life.